Hello YouTube. We're going to clean up this vise and fix a few problems with it. And we couldn't get this screw out of it. The other day I sprayed some cheap spray on it, but that's how I got this. I had to search and search for one of these. You'd think I'd have more of these. You know, just the short ones. I had this in the vice grips, okay? Get back. And I just kept pounding on it. So, and then kept trying to turn it. And I pounded on it pretty good too, but I got it broke loose. It sat there with Nutbuster spray on it all night. No, I don't get paid to show that. But it worked. So, we're going to take this apart. I have a video on disassembling this, so I really don't want to spend all this time showing it being disassembled. We're just going to gut it down and show you the pieces, and then we're going to clean it, repaint it. We're just tired of this color. We can't take it anymore. We've had this about 4 years. You know, sure, it's nice. Everybody knows it's a little Harbor Freight Swivel Vise, but I'm going to maybe paint it green. It depends on whether my paint's any good. I have that Rust-Oleum where you spray at any angle. You can't ever clean the can out. And then the tips get plugged. I tried soaking them in acetone, you know, the big round white button. So it's one of them things if I can get a can of green to work. I got 2 different types of dark green. So we'll see about that. I thought about Alice Chalmers orange. No, that's just too carried away. I want something nice, dark looking. I want it to look kind of old, and I don't want to paint it black. So, enough yakking about it. We're going to rip this down. We'll show you all the pieces that go to it. This tube's going to come out. There's a screw in here, okay? And I'll show you that. That screw keeps this from unscrewing all the way. So, I'll try to snap a picture of that screw in there. And I'll show you the repair where I broke this once. I think it was like last year, so stay tuned. Okay, here's the quick basic teardown. You unscrew this, that's your base. That pulls out of there. And that screw I showed you, you take it out of there. Okay, so this can pull out of there. This screw is what holds this screw in here. Don't tighten that real tight, it'll jam in there. You kind of adjust, you can put Loctite on it. Okay, and here's the tube, okay? Now I had to fix this. See where it's brazed? I had a video on. And I ground some out of here, so I didn't have to take the braze from here. And I broke this as my own fault. I remember saying in the video, I had something in cardboard or something trying to clamp it tight, I didn't want to mark, and I just kept cranking down on it to keep it from slipping, and snap. Bust this off. Probably the biggest complaint on this little vise. Well, that was my fault. So, there was my repair. Okay, I think you get the idea. You take this out. If I remember right, this only goes in one way. I don't think it'll go on this side. I watched my video the other day. See? So that's a no-brainer. Okay, there you go. There's the basic teardown. If you want to see it in detail, tell me. I'll put a link, or I'll put a link in the description to the original video, not the repair video, the original video. So, stay tuned. We're gonna get this all cleaned up. We'll come back. We'll have the jaws off, these screws out. Right now, we'll point out the major problem. I'm tired of this thing. The way these bolts go in these grooves, you'll tighten it and don't want to move. It keeps snagging. It does the same thing on this one. In fact, you can see it. See where that jams up? We've had enough of it. We can't take it anymore. He's mad, as you know what? He's not going to take it anymore. There we go. Let's get to work. We'll come back when we got some stuff cleaned up. Okay, a little quick tip. See that? Where that won't come out of there? Just crush it with the pliers. Don't grind it off, so you can flatten it back out to hold it. It's just holding that washer so it don't fall off. So, and the threads are messed up. We have to take and do something to the threads because it ain't gonna come all the way out. I already looked at the threads. They're pretty nasty on the end, so pay attention to that. Don't strip these out. Clean it up so it'll come apart. If it don't turn this easy coming out, stop and fix it. There's your quick tip for the day. Okay, hopefully you can see this. Here's our problem. See how that goes in the groove? How that doesn't fit in there very good? That's what locks this, okay? Well, this one isn't as bad. We'll show you the bad one. we're going to grind this, not the screw, okay, to fit that. The other one we're going to have to work on the screw a little bit. So I'm glad we got files and stuff in case you mess up the thread. So we're going to repair that by grinding on this part. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Here's the bad one. This is where your vise swivels like this, and it's always snagging and grabbing. See how nasty that is? And tight in different spots? Look at this one. See that? It's wore down what was there, okay? So now there's nothing there. Well, I don't want to spend the time trying to weld or brace a tip on there. I've thought about it. If we do, we will. Which might be a good idea, huh? You could always, it'd be easier to take the brazing and file out the threads in if it was MIG welded. You go trying to weld that, you're going to get a big glob of weld. See how bad that is? That's probably where, well, yeah, well the vise sets in either up, down, or whatever. You know what I mean? So we're after repairing this. I'm glad I put a paper towel there. There's your problem. We'll fix this one first. Okay. Break time. Then do the repair, and sometime we'll look through our paint and see what color paint we have, because we're going to strip all the paint off this. We don't have any paint stripper, so it's going to be done whatever with brushes and whatever it takes to grind it off today. Should buy a little sandblaster, huh? Okay, sorry about the bad lighting. Pretty soon be so bright. Here's our fix. That's a 1/16 inch drill bit. We're going to work our way up. We're going to go to an 1/8 of an inch. We found a broken 11/64 bit. That's hard steel. If we can get up to that size without breaking anything, we will epoxy a piece in there and then grind it to fit this groove. See that? And then we'll clean this groove up. And we'll just epoxy it. We're afraid of brazing or anything. We just don't want to ruin these threads or nothing. So, just a cordless drill, and I got the clutch set on a light zone. Very light. It's wherever. I mean, wherever it shows. So it'll, you know, so you don't break a little bit. So I got the clutch set really weak, because I'm doing this free-handed here. I don't have a vise, so I go over the other one, and it's over by the wood stove that's hot. I got a vise here by the desk. It's got the rubber jaws. So we do have two other vices, but we're doing it just setting here. Stay tuned. Okay, it's a little wobbly. It's hard to get straight. Good thing this is cheap stuff to drill through this bolt, huh? The first bit I used was not a 16th. It was a 5/64. I thought it looked a little big. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut this bit down so all the flutes are inside. You can do this. Look around the camera. You know, cut some more off. So that'll help hold the JB weld. We're not going to use we're going to use JB weld is what we're going to use. So see how much we're going to chop off to get this go in there. Then we'll determine the length. You know, and get this all cut. We don't want anything getting hot grinding on it. And then we'll grind it a little bit to get the point to it. Because I don't think it'll get that hot. Or we'll make the point first. There, that's smart. So we'll cut it to length. You know, cut some off here so this goes down further in the hole. We don't want to drill any deeper. Think you know what I mean? Get that depth right. Get the length right. And then put the point on it so it matches this junk. First we got to clean that up. There you go. Then we'll be back. We'll be done with this part. And that'll be about the end. So after all that, then the last part of the video will just be showing you when it's all clean and painted. I'm not going to show you brushing the paint off and stuff. That's boring. So stay tuned for more. Not too bad. Backyard mechanic work. Sitting here with a cordless drill. I didn't want to mess around with the drill press. I just want to sit in my chair and work. Okay, here's my repair piece. We had to cut the part off that had the drill bit flutes because it would not set there straight. Okay, we was having all kinds of trouble to figure out the depth of this. So what we did, this is a split shot sinker when you go fishing made out of lead. we put a piece down here, okay? When we put this in here, then we put the thing together, okay? We put it all together. Okay, I think you get the point. And then we just kept cranking it a little bit tighter and a little bit tighter to see how far it would go in. Because we do not want the threads to hit this piece out here. And that's the best I can get. I took a Dremel tool to clean this up. And there's like 4 spots where you stop. You know what I mean? You're always stopping straight up and down or sideways. Okay. And to hold this little piece while I was working on it, this little piece going here, I got out my pin vise and barely grabbed it and stuck out of there because I don't have a smaller one than that unless it's really small. So I don't have a pin vise that would work at this size. But there you go. Now here's the factory one that seems to be okay on the other one. Get that in there. And it's not right either. So I'm going to work on this a little bit, maybe grind a little, you know, kind of dig down and put. I don't want to grind the threads away though, but I don't want to go through all the trouble of repairing it like this, because it's how the vise turns around. Okay, it hasn't had that much of a problem. It hasn't been that much of a pain in the, you know what. See, it's not that bad yet. This was the bad one. Okay, there you go. I think I explained it enough. But that helped. I put that piece of lead down in there. It's probably a little less than half of that. And just kept squishing it. So if you could see that with a microscope, there's going to be a piece of lead in there. But we're going to take a break. This video is going to be way too long. Excuse my grungy hands. I had to take my gloves off playing with this little stuff. So I'm going to wash my hands and have a break. Okay. Here's my repair for the bottom screw. I just made this groove wider. Dremel stone is cast iron. It grinds easy. I don't know if the light will show it up. It doesn't hit the threads. So I just widened this out. I didn't make it any deeper. I just widened it out. I cleaned that up with a Dremel stone. Now it's a lot better. When it locks, it locks. Before it just be in and catch, and now we're off to clean and deburr and everything in this thing and paint it. So that's it for the repair portion. So thanks for watching this much. If you want to stick around, we're going to call this, even though it's probably going to be, it might be 1 video, it might be 2. So this might be called part 1. We're going to see how long the video is so far. So stay tuned for more.